got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, and sworn like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just feel shit cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart.
We're back. Oh my god. Yes. It is here. It is another episode of the wonderful Dragon Quest X podcast, where we're solo, where we play, where we gay. Cause we're happy. I thought I was gonna say about some willy honking, but no. We're just happy. We're just happy. Last time we went through half of this dungeon and we talked about the moment. This time we're doing the rest of the cutscenes and we are talking about body language because I feel like that relates to the moment. Rest of this dungeon is pretty cool. As you see, we're under the tower of the fortress, going into the water gate, the waterway, you know? And I believe there's one treasure chest that you have to climb up like 5 fucking hours to get. I decided to skip it, so luckily I've spared you that, right? Luckily that doesn't need to happen, but I hope you guys enjoy the cutscenes. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little shorts we have at the video, you know, the intros and all that good stuff. I always like mentioning that because I like them. I like them probably more than anybody else. That's like, you know, my whole reason playing this game. The cutscenes in this game are cool. Like, my favorite parts is the graphics. That's why I really can't stop playing this game, because I can't stop looking at it. Like once I saw Dragon Quest VIII, and I was like, there's an MMO off of this game. You know, as a spring chicken, a little troglodyte in high school. I mean, I was hooked. So I'm glad I finally have a way to enjoy this game in the Queen's English. You know, fuck Enix for never translating it, but who cares, really? You know, they should never translate. You know, we'll have this be a gatekeeped society. You know what I'm saying? Just like American wealth. That got depressing. Anyways, body language. What we're actually talking about today. I feel like, yes, it does relate to the moment, because 93% of communication, you know, the moment-to-moment communication, is really non-verbal. Non-verbal signs. It's not going to be what you actually say or the tone of it. A lot of that communication is like the facial expressions, the smells that you get from people, which is one thing that really scares me, because I've noticed, like, whenever I'm attracted to someone, I can either like not smell them, or whatever smells come from them are good. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like actual body odor, and that actually scares me. That's one of the easiest ways I can find out if I'm attracted to someone. Like, if you're quote unquote got done working out, and I smell you, and I'm like, dang, that kind of I could vibe with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you fill the room with this, I would not be mad. And that's a lot of our communication. Whether you want to believe it or not, we use all of our senses constantly. You know, all of our senses. Even though we don't, you know, like touch everybody constantly, we're like, you know, our hands are to our sides, touching ourselves, our feet are touching the ground, you know, you're touching at all times, essentially. Touching your damn phone, of course, I know that. You're tapping the screen right now, motherfucker. Watching this on your phone, tapping the like button. Tap that like button, please. Thank you, I appreciate you. Oh yeah, you're good at tapping that like button. You're professional. But, yeah. Pretty much nonverbal, most of the shit we do. So, when you look at this, you have to realize that presentation is everything. And whatever we do is going to complement our verbal nature. Don't mind me here, guys. I'm just switching to my auto controller. So first impressions happen in the first 3 to 5 seconds. Your posture, your eye contact, your facial expression, they're all going to dictate that. You know what I'm saying? And compliment is usually a good way to open the basket for new positive reinforcement. I would say new friend, but that's kind of like a toxic buzzword nowadays. Nobody wants new friends, apparently. We're all horrid loners who don't trust anybody ever. At least that's me. And life is a mirror, so it's probably the only people I see. It's the whole mirror thing. Um, but mirroring can really help you if you're trying to get ahead, and that leads me into our next point. We'll talk about positive and negative body language. As you can see, that is very negative body language that Anne Lucina is dictating over there. She's in a fighting stance. She's ready to kill. She is ready to antagonize, and she's powering up. So see, very very negative body language. Positive body language would be more relaxed, be more, non-confrontational, be less stabby, if you will, less in the air. You'd probably be on the ground uh, if you have positive body language. You probably wouldn't be jumping, depending. But it's naturally like a difference of energy when it comes to positive and negative. Strangely enough, in the world, it's a difference of energy levels. Because you can have that heightened energy in your body language, but most times if it is not controlled and portrayed in the right way, it's going to come off as negative. It's going to come off as negative because people don't like what they don't understand. And a lot of times, energy is going to translate in very, very different ways. When you try to harness it in an unknown way. So, and then on top of that, not a lot of people show a lot of emotions or a lot of energy in life nowadays, I'm noticing. Like, I don't know if this is like a regular human race thing or if this is just like a 2025 nature kind of thing, but if you're out there and you're very expressive, you're not going to find many people that are also very expressive like you or very loud like you. Um, and I don't know if this is sort of a stereotype of the African race, but I have met quite a many people of different races that are also loud like me, and I've met some pretty quiet black people as well. So I really think it's just person to person how high your energy level is to you, and then also how your environment has reacted to it. Because if you're like me in your environment, your dad was always like, Marcus, quiet down. What are you doing? And your grandparents and everybody were like, you gotta be quiet. And then whenever somebody got yelled at for being loud, it was always you that got pointed out because you're the only voice that they can distinct out of the crowd. Which now I'm noticing can definitely turn around to be a good thing. Like, oh, I'm the only voice you can hear out of a voice of rambunctious voices. I can definitely use this to my power in the future. Right? So we just have to understand our emotions and understand how to properly portray how we feel. And I'm not saying you have to develop the perfect sense of empathy or, feel everybody's feelings and be aware of everything, but you gotta maintain your frame, whatever that is. Whatever that is, you decide for yourself where your story's leading. And once you figure out what that frame is gonna be, what that nature of yourself is gonna be, you just gotta maintain it. And then everybody's gonna respect you. Because for some reason nowadays, we don't respect the growth, the progression of someone's mind. We respect the stagnation or the stubbornness to not change and hold on to morals alive. And you will find those people that do particularly respect the fact that you change your mind and that you have morals, but they can be altered or whatever, especially if there's good reason for that. But if especially if you're like just the simp who's like, oh, I got a girl and I'm gonna change everything for her, you're not gonna get respected. You're not gonna get respected. You get way more respected if you stayed in your room and you just kept gooning. You know what I'm saying? You just kept gooning forever and didn't tell nobody and never got no girlfriend. You would get way more respect than getting that girl and have everybody smiling in your face and having her walk all over you and all over all your morals. But the frame is the most important thing when we're talking about communicating this body language, because nobody wants to be weak. Nobody wants to be manipulated, but if you come off as a non-growth or non-empathetic individual to other sides, you know, and we're waiting to be molded into malleable clay. You're gonna follow their train. You're gonna follow their train. But that's not a bad thing, necessarily. What we have to do is be a conscientious co-writer, co-conspirator of the story. And then you have to let people jump in and co-write your story. It's just this constant 50-50, you know? It's just this constant 50-50 within relationships and quote-unquote new friends. Because you can find someone who wants to be a new friend, but they just want to change everything about you and, you know, modify your frame, alter your nin. And I think that's kind of lame. I think you should have some say in that too. And an easy way to nip motherfuckers like this in the bud is to just come in with some dominant as fuck body language, you know? Really stand up for what you believe in your actions first, not in your words, because the words don't really matter. You have to remember, all this shit I'm saying, it don't matter. There's a reason why I do so many weird inflections. Make sure my diction is good, because this is only an audio thing. And if I'm just talking monotone the entire time, nobody's gonna care, nobody's gonna listen, you know? Nobody's really gonna... Bleh. But I mean, it's naturally how I talk too, so... Not saying it's inauthentic, I'm just saying there's a reason why it's popular, because people like to, you know, get the motion in the way they're talked to. They like to be fed with emotion, not with just logic and statistics. This is why a lot of things in America are fucking up, because people are making the argument for good and for light with statistics, and everybody's like, I don't care. Where are my emotions? Where are my emotions? I don't number bad, emotion good. But to build rapport, like I said, mirroring is really good, you know, nodding is very good in the body language. We have to stay active at all times, not just when we're talking. Life is a stage, so you have to show your love in a way that is understood to the person in front of you. And that means getting real down to basics, you know, getting down to brass tacks and using the most juvenile of communication methods to let people know that you are a good person, that you are coming in with love. And that's like a smile, man. That's like a nod. That's like a get involved by going like I'm saying, I'm telling you a story and you're like, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like get into it. Be a little active audience member. And I'm very good at this on one-on-ones, but this is kind of why I hate group conversations, because like my idea, or at least my old idea, I'm slowly shaping this away. But in a group conversation, I was like, I'm failing if I'm not making everyone else participate. You know, or making sure everyone else is happy, or making sure everyone else has a positive experience from this group conversation. It doesn't matter if it's just two other people. I am so like locked into the positively impacting, or just like making someone feel something, you know, and it's terrible. It's terrible because it forces me to not, you know, to enjoy the conversation myself or get involved for reasons that are entirely my own. It's kind of like what happened to... Wait for it, the reveal. Ah, he's the hero, it's Toma. See exactly what happened to Toma. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. Didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Tried to please everybody. And now look at him. He's working for the evil guy. You know, he just wanted to be the hero. But unlike Anne Lucina, who lost her memory, Toma has a different objective here. He's going to be our final boss. He's also destroying these things, the MacGuffins. During this next part, we're going to power up Anne Lucina. And then we're gonna collect the rest of those things he destroyed. I believe we're gonna strengthen them. Yeah, but those are the last two MacGuffin things we're gonna do on this last two versions because we're only going up to 2.4. And those guys are gone. So this is pretty much the end of the episode. I got a couple more points to go over, so just indulge me, and then you'll subscribe, and then we'll have fun. Okay? So if you don't understand what they're talking about in their dumb story, remember to ask questions. I know I always feel dumb when I do this, and I always like, especially if you just didn't hear them, and I'm always like, what? And then they repeat it really fast, and you're like, what? You know, but like, this is important. For me, it's important because I actually want to know. I don't know if everybody does this, and I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't, but I like hold on to pieces of information of people's lives like they're Pokemon cards, and they're vital things that I can use later. It's sometimes not by choice. Most times it is. I'm not even gonna lie. My brain's pretty conscious at most times. Like I said, guys, I have to actively turn off my inner dialogue. And you could probably tell by the way I talk. This shit don't stop. 12, 3 a.m. at night, it's still going. It's still rocking. That's why I like to fall asleep to YouTube, because when there are other voices speaking, I usually don't dream, and I hate my dreams. That sounds terrible, but yeah, that's true. They're usually nightmarish forms of real life that don't come into fruition until right when I'm about to wake up. So let me get into this a little bit, just to give you guys a baseline of what I'm talking about here. When I dream, I would dream I'm in my childhood home, my childhood trailer, and everything is normal until my Game Boy breaks and there's a black hole that forms and I get sucked in and then I wake up. And it'd be normal for like 3 hours. So that freaks me the fuck out. Like a lot. And it's always some really, really like super outlandish, like not even a Black Mirror thing, but like a poltergeist thing that happens that is like, there is no way, and then I wake up. And I wake up. After some completely normal shit. Like after some mundane, let me eat this chicken sandwich, and then a saber-toothed tiger rips my head off. And I don't like that. I'm not a fan, you know? But yeah, a little bit into this body language discussion. There are cultural differences, you know what I'm saying? You can't do the peace sign in some languages and stuff like that. There's just different meanings and things. So you gotta learn about the people you interact with. And just be open. There's always gonna be misunderstandings, especially when you're driving to be as creative in your body language as possible. Because if you were doing that, then they have to be creative in the ways they understand it. You dig? And so, if life is a mirror, preventing these understandings is going to come down to the easiest thing of just asking questions openly. And the body language should also be open when you ask. How I'm going to ask, like, why'd you get mad at that with your arms crossed and you all standing back and moving away from them? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to, offend you by that. How could I do it better in the future? Something like that. All you need to do to improve at body language, pay attention to others. Look at what they do. Look at what they react well to from you. A lot of times when we are attracted to someone, we'll naturally look at them for a reaction when it comes to things. So notice that. Notice, who you're looking at is who you actually care about, their opinion, and I'm not saying be a complete lapdog to them and do whatever they want, but just use the information to your advantage. Like they generally like it when I do this. They generally don't when I do this. And for me, that just helps me set up parameters, so I can sort of not police myself, but navigate in a way that causes me the least social anguish possible. Because I'd like to keep my friends, I'd like to keep my job, and once I get like a girl, I'd like to keep them. But that's not the objective of body language. The objective of body language, in my opinion, is just to communicate, not to police people into liking you. So communicate the way you want to and just, notice. Take stock of how it affects people. Because as much as I hate to say it, we can't just be loners for the rest of our lives and sit in our rooms and, goon all day. We have to, feel things out and interact with society. When that's not a terrible thing. For me, it is. For most people, it's not. It's not a terrible thing. We can learn to become profitable members as long as we just pay a little bit of attention, Like a lot of people are sucked into their phones or even talking while looking at their phones. I'm just like, guys, just pay attention. Look at me. I feel like that's why so many people walk by you in public just waiting for you to say hi to them. Or you have headphones on and they're like, hi. I'm like, Jesus Christ, nobody fucking talks to you in your life. It's so sad. Or you don't have a podcast. That's why I don't feel like talking to people. I talk all this shit. Why do you talk to people? Who cares? Yeah. No, I'd say this short 30-minute conversation today, that's all I need. Me and you, baby. We are done with 343, which means 2.3 is on its way. I hope you are happy, baby. You want to drop that sub on my bub? I would appreciate you. Give a little like too. We are almost to 50 subscribers, which means I'll be able to stream, and then I'll be able to annoy you even more, and I know you'll love that. So, like I said, next time we'll do 2.3. We'll do the Royal Maze. We do like to be royal. We do like to be amazing. It will be amazing. I will see you next time, guys. Don't fall into your phone. Use your body language. Use your fucking words. You use your body to word it well. And well. I will see you next time. Drop a sub. I love you. Bye.